arm swing. It's a progression off the Russian swing. If you guys haven't seen the video about the Russian swing, go back and look at the video on just a standard Russian swing, which is going to be using 2 hands. This one is only going to be using 1 hand. All the fundamentals are exactly the same with the single arm swing as they are with the 2-hand swing. We're just changing hand position. So that same position of being bent over, hands on your knees, reach back to your tailbone, it's going to be the exact same. We're just going to allow one hand to shadow back behind this way here. And the best way that we want to explain this is it's the same position that you're in as if you're jumping forward. So what I'm going to have you guys do is just to warm up and practice that position. We're going to get 10 jumps forward here, and just get used to getting into that bend over position here to initiate that swing. You want to try to challenge yourself, go a little bit further. I don't have a whole lot of space here to jump. Just get 10 of these. Last one. Now, what we're going to do from there, we're going to go over the position. So it's the exact same position we're just in, but instead of having both hands on the outside here, we're going to shift one hand in between your legs with your thumb facing backwards towards your tailbone. When we pick up the kettlebell, we want to have our index finger and thumb in the corner of the kettlebell here, okay? We don't want it to be in the middle. That'll make more sense as we go through some of the progressions. Basically, you need space for transferring the kettlebell from one hand to the other, so you need that extra space on one side of the kettlebell. And the other thing is, as we transition to more complex exercises, like the high pull and the snatch, and even the clean, it'll transition a lot better through that snatch or through that high pull or through that clean, okay? So what the rule is, we want to go thumb to your bum, explode up just like we did with the single arm swing. That opposite hand always shadows. There's 2 mistakes that people generally make with that opposite hand, is they want to put that hand down on that thigh here, and it's kind of like if I told you to jump as far forward as you can, you really don't have a lot of jump with that hand on that thigh. And remember, we're working on that explosive force through the glutes and hamstrings while your core and lower back are stabilizing, okay? This will inhibit that. The other thing that people do is they just go dead hand and they start swinging here, and this hand's not doing anything. We want this hand to be going along for the ride, okay? Just like if you try to jump without that opposite hand here, if you just try to jump without moving those hands forward, you're not going to be able to jump anywhere near as far, okay? One big key with this is that we do want to stay right along that midline. And so that kettlebell should be following straight up through your groin, across your belly button, and up to the bottom of your sternum. And it's dividing you right in half, okay? That palm is going to be facing outward throughout, and that'll make more sense as we go into those more complex exercises like the high pull and the snatch once again. But we want to have that palm facing outward. Another reason why we want that is a lot of times you'll see people doing swings here with those knuckles up to the sky. Your elbow does not bend this way, but it does bend this way. So it gives you just a little bit of leeway where you can absorb some of that shock that you're going to be creating from that explosive motion of the swing, okay? Especially since it's only with one arm, you want as much of that shock to be absorbed as possible. Last time we talked about, in the Russian swings, we talked a little bit about how to pick up the kettlebell properly, and remember we want a triangle form between our feet and the kettlebell. So it's making an isolateral triangle between our feet. It's been a long time since I took geometry, hopefully that's right. The only difference on this one is you're now going to take the kettlebell and you're going to point it at a 45-degree angle toward the foot of the hand that you're not using, okay? What that's going to allow us to do is it's going to allow us to grab that kettlebell here, and that's going to allow that swing to pull that hand into its proper position here, okay? And then once again, we're loading those hips up. Big key on this one, once again, keeping that kettlebell right in the middle of your body. Very commonly, people start coming off at an angle this way. And what's going to happen eventually is you wind up hitting that knee, and nothing stops your progress faster than a good knee injury, okay? So make sure that we're staying right along that midline, and we always want every repetition to be as explosive as possible. So when I go through and pick up that kettlebell, once again, I have my triangle formed between my feet and the kettlebell. That kettlebell is pointing at a 45-degree angle toward this toe here, the opposite side toe that I'm going to use. When I pick up that kettlebell, I set my back, big chest, his hands back behind, as if I'm going to jump back forward here, okay? And we're going to come here, and I'm driving down through my heels, squeezing my glutes, making it explosive as possible, okay? Let's get a few reps here so that way you guys can see. We'll switch hands. Once again, I'm going to create my triangle here. Feet are shoulder width apart. That kettlebell is just out in front of me slightly. That handle, once again, is pointed at a 45-degree angle toward the toe that I'm not going to be using the hand. That opposite hand is shadowing behind, drops back to tailbone. Okay? That is your single arm swing. We're going to be going over various progressions as we go along. I'm also going to give you a workout. The workout that we're going to do is going to be fun. It's going to be 10 right, 10 left, 9, 9, 8, 8, 7, 7, and we're going to make our way all the way down to 1, 1.